The money's gone. It's gone. I don't know what she did with it.
Saying halt all donations.
A lot of women have been in a situation where a guy's not threatening to hit you or anything, but he's backing you in the corner, like quite literally.
Yeah.
Like you're seeing a lack of community support because the comments were getting deleted.
Yeah.
Yeah, my story was amazing. It touched your heart. But then you guys took it all away because he said so.
And that he has this huge audience from YouTube and that people will give money.
Yeah.
At the beginning of all this, you know, some people just jumped up and started helping the public.
Yeah.
Who were displaced, who were hungry, things like that. And almost immediately, FEMA started shutting down the hubs.
Yeah, the main ones.
But for the most part, they could only shut down hubs that were like state-owned.
They were on county property or something.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was.
Yeah,
it's
if it was
volunteer fire departments and stuff.
right, private property.
One big hub.
Yeah.
Was in Rutherford County.
Yeah, in Rutherford County, probably one of the only big ones out there that stayed was Rosalie Toro's farm. They were calling it Camp Rosebud at the time.
Yeah, that was John Ward's name.
Yeah, they've changed it to Rosebud's Farm.
Speaking of whom, so he shows up a little bit into it and says he can help. He can bring workers in, that he has this huge audience from YouTube and that people will give money.
Yeah.
In the beginning, he came to help me with my bridge and to show awareness of what we're doing here so I can get volunteers. I needed volunteers because I had convoy already coming here by myself, and I had Cajun Navy and a lot of organizations were bringing food. I mean, we had a lot of stuff already. So I really didn't need his help for that, and he knew that.
She was a little bit reluctant, but was overworked and they needed a little bit of help.
Yeah, I mean, you got somebody coming in that tells you they've got this YouTube channel and you see they got all these followers and it's like, okay, well, yeah, we can use the help. Help me feed the people, you know?
There is the idea also, when you think about it, a guy with that many followers who says, I want to help you, what's he going to put out there if you say no?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it became a big operation. There was just so much work to do. And we had a handful of volunteers, and we needed a magnitude of volunteers. You know, we had hundreds of people coming in through this line, and you know, times were devastating at the time. You know, and it became a big operation. God created something really big that we needed help, and He saw a good opportunity here, and that's when He came and offered the help. But the help was to get volunteers, and then he opened up a GoFundMe without telling me. I said, I really don't need a GoFundMe. And he said, well, yeah, you do need it. You need it for rocks. You need it for the fencing is down. You need it to buy this, the brackets, to put the food. You need it for food, to feed your volunteers. And I said, okay, well, that's fine, you know. Didn't know I was going to reach $28,000 a week and a half later.
GoFundMe.
Yes, in her name.
And it rang up to like 29,000.
Yeah,
it was in her / Camp Rosebud's name. So people understand, when you have a GoFundMe, you can't change the name of the person that it's in. You can't change the cause. It is what it is.
He fooled all his followers.
So if he would have
if
he gave that money to anyone, that's basically him admitting
exactly
that he gave it to himself.
Exactly.
See, that's just what I want to explain to people, because I don't think a lot of people know that.
I'm here
that's
for
how
the
it
people.
works.
I'm here for the people.
Too.
The checks, yeah. How he said that. He said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John Ward. I just want to tell you, stop your checks. Stop your check.
Halt all donations.
Yeah, stop all donations. She's a scammer. All the money that you guys send her, she cash those checks and spend it on herself. The money's gone. It's gone. I don't know what she did with it.
And then all of a sudden, 10 days in, there was that.
Yeah, the post saying, halt all donations,
Yeah.
you know, that don't donate to her because she's scamming and stealing, and they shut the GoFundMe down.
So that really, really cut the donations down.
Yeah, everybody jumped on it, and, you know, a lot of people believed it, and they stopped wanting to donate. They stopped wanting to bring things there. People stopped wanting to volunteer. So she lost a lot, and she, most importantly, lost her good name.
And then at the same time, it was bad for donations in general because at that time was when the hubs were shutting down.
Yeah.
It probably took a chunk out of helping people in the area.
Yeah. It's like, where do you turn? And then there's, nowhere to go. Like, that's terrible.
The day that this happened, my food supply stopped. We had no food. The water stopped. The baby formula stopped. The diapers stopped. Everything stopped. And my volunteers were like, what are we going to do? And that's when I started spending a little bit of money that I have. I don't have money. I'm not rich. I don't want to be rich. I own my land. I don't owe a penny. By the way, you told everybody that I rent here. I don't rent here. I own this land for 7 years.
Yeah, and I saw where he was kind of showing
And he tried to give it away to a church. And then he tried to have an organization call me and give them the money. They called me, say, hey, why don't you give us the money? We have a 501c3. He tried to get rid of that money so much because everybody had a 501c3. But he couldn't. And at the end, he knew. He had phone calls. People were making phone calls about this money that he's going to get in trouble. And that's when he said, I better tell the people that I'll send it back. All the people that have come here for help, they're all hugging me, crying. We're so sorry. We know who you are. We know you're helping us. Stay strong. I wanted to quit a couple of times and just close. And I said, what happens if I do close? Who's going to do this for the people? Who's going to be there for the people? Yeah, there's a lot of organizations out there. There's a lot of churches. But you know what? Who's going to be the authentic? What I really do here. What God created.
And people already know you. And then you meet people who live on the property with her, volunteer, that she kind of took in during all of this.
Mm-hmm.
So you start getting the feeling of, hey, even if there was some kind of discrepancy with a little money, she's done some good for people.
Yeah.
So you're willing to hear her out if you got half a heart. You're just here all the time, helping.
I'm up here all the time working for doing something. And
For free.
yeah, it's all volunteer work.
Yep.
I don't charge her nothing. Granted, she does feed me while I'm here and
Right.
stuff like that. But I wouldn't trade it. My daughter loves coming up here. She comes up here on the weekend on Saturdays and helps out. My daughter, she takes care of the animals for her. So, but
And she don't even take no cash, does she?
no, she don't.
Yeah, I didn't. That's what I've seen and heard. Like
No,
that there's
she will not take it from nobody. No, she will give you cash.
Huh.
But I have never seen this woman, if you hand her cash, she's like, I prefer you to go buy what you want and bring it to us.
Right.
I've not seen her take one dime from nobody. Because again, my parents have offered to give her some money to go buy stuff for here, and she's like, no, y'all go buy it yourself.
Right.
Y'all do it.
I think people need to see what is being worked on here.
I know you're dying. This woman, I get so many hugs from her every day. She's dying to do this. I know that. I'm proud of myself too. I can't believe I did it. You told me I was going to do it. Our distribution center here.
Mm-hmm.
Where everybody comes and they line up here. We pop the trunks and we fill up their trunks.
They get food, hygiene, toiletries.
Our children's baby formula here. All these tables we used to be packed. This was our warehouse. There's nothing now. We don't get like we used to.
Right.
John took care of that. So we have to call people constantly struggling to call people to send us food to feed the people. So this is all we have left. And down there, that camper there, I have a lady who's living there. And that yellow tent is where the clothes
that's
go.
you.
That's me. Hi.
Yeah, this is Michelle, guys. And
This
Michelle.
lady is an angel.
How'd you end up here?
I was homeless. I was living out on the streets, actually.
Hmm.
She saved me.
Wow.
Because I wouldn't be here now if it wasn't.
He brought up the stuff from your past that, from what I can tell, was retracted and everything. We'll find that and post it. But
Yes.
when did he know at the beginning that existed?
No, absolutely not.
How did he learn about it?
Well, you know, when a snake is hungry, he's gonna go after his prey.
Mm-hmm.
And when he's in danger and he's hungry and he's starving, he's gonna do whatever it takes to get his prey. And he did whatever it took to get me, to hurt me. Wasn't enough. He's still not stopped today. He had no clue about what happened to me. How the same exact thing. I was set up in the past 21 years ago. And he dug out that story and dug out the first story from the news, what happened to me. But the outcome of the story, the retraction, he didn't dig that out. So people still believe that that's still an ongoing, that I'm known for a scammer. No, it happened to me also. I've been attacked 21 years
And
ago.
after that big, long ordeal you went through in Florida,
Yes.
I saw you got some kind of just a little $1,000 fine for
Yes, a
something.
$1,000 fine. The IRS came knocking on my door, and they confiscated pretty much everything I had, banks, everything. And it was the worst 3 days of my life to have somebody defame you, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And they took everything I had, and 3 days later they come back, and they gave me all my credentials and everything back, and they said, the IRS, Rosalie, Toro, everything is fine. There's just one thing wrong. Well, first of all, Rosalie, all the money that they said was never mishandled. For 5 years that you had that organization, the 501c3, not one penny was mishandled. So you're good, Rosalie, but you do have to take care of one thing. You have to get a permit that is for soliciting. Any 501c3 nonprofit organization should have one. And for 5 years, as a 501c3, I didn't know I need one. And they said, Rosalie, it's just $20. You'll have to pay a fine of $1,000. It's just $20. Go to the court and get one. Have a nice day. And they left.
And I want to say for the record, I dug. There's no conviction on her.
Nothing.
There's no, there's the lawsuit.
I was set up because of the organization I had 5 years. And I'm not going to mention any names here, because that's water under the bridge.
Right.
And God already handled that. However, I was set up the same way I was set up today. And because I choose to do what I do for the people, my way, how people should really be treated, the poor, I was hurt for it.
What
And,
started the beef with him? Like, when did things go wrong and why?
Well, you know, honestly, Mike, I really don't know.
Very confident woman, entrepreneurial, very animated when she speaks to you.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to see and feel a lot of her emotion.
Yeah.
And she just doesn't let people know her business.
Yeah.
She'll promote her business, which for the record is now her daughter's business. She hasn't run it for a while except for birthday parties on the property.
Yeah.
And, you know, she keeps to herself when it comes to anything beyond that. She's the kind of person where you're probably not going to know her relationship status with anyone.
Right.
You know, she probably won't go too much into her past, and we learned a lot of reasons for that.
Yeah.
And I'm talking, you know, far back past.
Yeah,
Not
she
to
did
make it
open
sound-
up to us quite a bit, but that, you know, that right there told me a lot, because I can tell she's not the type of person that would generally open up to people. So
Right. And she wanted to get her side of this out for all of this time. It's been months. This whole time, she's kind of had to hold in wanting to defend her name,
yeah,
which I can understand. It would drive me crazy.
she was waiting for the right moment to put the truth out there.
Imagine you are in imagine you're accused of a crime. You're sitting in prison. You know, you can tell that the sentiment is that you're going to more than likely get found guilty.
Right.
All you think about probably is when you can get into the courtroom.
Yeah, when are you going to
State
be
your
able to
case.
get up on the stand?
But just like in this situation, quite literally, an attorney is telling you, no, you can't talk right now.
Yeah.
You can't talk when you're in the cell. You can't talk when you're in court. Maybe down the road here. Well, finally, she had some things she wanted to show people and defend her name.
Yeah.
And
She showed us.
and yep, she showed us some things, and
We'll
let
show
you be the
you.
judge.
Yeah.
And then the GoFundMe thing, he set it up, so I guess he probably set it up in like a joint. It was yours and his.
No, I asked him, you know, how, he showed me everything, how he did it, and it was under my name. He did the video, he attached the video to the GoFundMe with my name for Rosebuds. The funds were for Rosebuds. And he attached the video with my story. He walked the entire property with it. We did a live, a video by the tent over there. And yeah,
So he kind of come in and said, I got a big following. I can get you more
Oh
donations,
yeah.
get people to
Oh,
help you. And
absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, everything was about the money, you know. Everything was about the money. Well, we already had enough food here. I didn't need more food. I didn't need no more clothes. I didn't need no more water or animal feed. I did that on my own,
right.
reaching out, and it went pretty much viral in just North Carolina, enough that Convoy found us, and big organizations throughout the country. And I didn't need him. I really didn't need him.
Right.
But he knew that my bridge was down, and he talked about some gentleman that fixed bridges due to the hurricane. Some people lost their bridges, and I was like, great, you can help me with my bridge. And that was pretty much it. And then he said, you need volunteers, and you need this, and you need that. And I'm like, yeah, I need volunteers. And I thought he was a hero. I thought he was a hero for North Carolina to help us and really help me, what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
But even if at the beginning he thought that she wasn't using those checks for what she should,
Right.
that doesn't mean that he can just break the law, change the name of the GoFundMe, and keep the money.
Yeah.
And just say, I'm going to do the right things with it. Well, he learned very quickly that you can't do that.
It's
you can't change
I'm pretty
the name
sure
of it.
it's illegal. Yeah, it's illegal.
Well, yeah, it's
to
a federal
change
crime
that.
technically because it's
Yeah.
so it's illegal to do that. You can get some trouble for that. So he tried to give the money away. We substantiated all of this. He really did try to give all the money away. Nobody would take it.
Yeah.
Even people that there was a couple that people brought up to me that were like shady, like little organizations that were shady wouldn't take the money. They wouldn't touch it. I mean, it's just a quick Google search. Can I change the name on a GoFundMe?
Right.
So that was a bad decision, regardless of what anyone thinks of the situation.
If I go to the police and tell everyone that you changed the name of the GoFundMe, and you also changed the video and kept the $28,000, if I go to the police, you're going to lose your career and everything. Is it worth it? And he just laughed, and with a grin where you could almost see Satan's eyes. And I really mean that.
And just for everybody to know, I heard and saw the video of basically the last moments of John Ward at Camp Rosebud. I don't know what he did with it, but he walked away with the $28,000,
Sure
correct?
did. He
Your
fled.
name was off of it.
He fled. He went back to Tennessee. And the next morning he threatened me, if you go to the police and tell the police that I changed the name of the GoFundMe, you don't exist, Rosalie. He even showed me the computer. He said, look, it doesn't exist. Your name doesn't exist. It's gone. I said, what did you do with the money? Don't worry about it, Rosalie. Don't worry about it. And I said, you can't do this. I'm going to the police. He said, good. Go to the police. You don't exist. It's not even there.
Wow.
And I went to the police, and sure enough, he went and said, if you do that, I will destroy you. I will make you the biggest scammer in America. I will make it to a point that you won't even get a can of food to help the people that you help. I will destroy you. And I am John Ward from Appalachian Channel.
Man,
I'm one of the strongest men on the internet. I says, you know what, John? You may be the strongest man on the internet, but you're not stronger than God. And I'm going to come after you if you do this. And I said, you have one more chance before you leave. I pleaded with him. I said, don't do something stupid, John. Drop that GoFundMe. Does not belong to you. Doesn't even belong to me. It's God's money, first of all. And secondly, it was the people that opened up their hearts and their wallets when they heard my story, what I'm doing here for the victims of North Carolina after the hurricane and for those in need. This was the money, the people's money.
And the attitude that we heard on the audio was unbelievable.
It was so bad.
And the part where she's wanting him to show what's in the account and whose name it's in, and he keeps shutting it and trying to...
He keeps telling her to go check the mail.
Right, he keeps trying to get her out of there.
Like, yeah.
I mean, so obviously, like a 6-year-old would do.
Yeah.
You know, to distract you from the fact that they spilled something or didn't do their homework
Right.
or whatever. That's what it was like. It was really pathetic. And then it got really aggressive.
Yeah.
We can't put the video that she took just before he left into this video because it's considered evidence.
Yeah.
We could show the bank account. We cleared that. That was okay. There's a couple other things that we can't show.
Yeah.
There is, we did substantiate that a lot of workers that weren't particularly friendly with Rosalie said that John was an absolute tyrant from day one.
Yeah.
just barking orders, disrespecting people.
There was a company or something that had workers out there volunteering, doing some work, building something, or I don't know what.
He was ordering the young guys around.
The guy who owned it had to come in there and tell
the CEO had to show up and tell him, this isn't your company, this isn't your project. You know, so he played foreman, you know, he had a real bad attitude. And again, that doesn't necessarily say somebody's crooked, but I just want people to get a feel for what this was. A guy comes in, you put all your effort and passion into something. A guy comes in to help. You're a little reluctant. You're kind of a distrusting person. But you say, you know what? Fine. It's for the greater good. You know, he starts barking orders at people and doing this and that. Now, you're a little busy handling things and whatnot.
And he's on your property now, so you're like, okay. Right. And not to sound like, you know, some patriarchy type BS, but it is, you know, you're a woman. And now this man is on your property and is just parked there and has this big old following on YouTube and all this stuff. So
and he does have some other males show up. Now, I'm not on that patriarchy thing either. However, the footage that we saw that he didn't know that she was filming, that, God, I wish I could put it in here. But hopefully people trust us in what we say. But, you know, basically, a lot of women have been in a situation where a guy's not threatening to hit you or anything, but he's backing you in the corner, like quite literally, like this.
It's scary.
You know, repeating what he's saying as though he wants you to shake your head.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, right, you know? Like
intimidation.
Something like that. And I'm just like, wow, that's insane. This is an older guy. He's a YouTuber. He seems to be doing well.
I kept hearing somebody yelling. And I'm like, what is going on? So there was 3 other volunteers here at the time. They're no longer here. But I stood up on the pallet and I looked over the fence up there where that other camper's sitting, and I'm like, y'all, he's yelling at her. So I stood there and I watched. Well, he kept getting closer. And I told the other volunteer, he was like right here at her. I said, if he steps 1 more foot closer toward her, I'm going up there.
I don't know what happened. Like, I mean, we're all shocked overnight. We didn't know why he was doing this to the people, to the volunteers, abusing the volunteers in a way, like manipulating them, you know, treating them like they're nothing, no respect, no love, no empathy for these volunteers. And it was all about John Ward. They come ask you for money and you give. Poor people, I feel so bad for you guys, how you guys gave so much because of his story. You know, with John Ward, yeah, my story was amazing. It touched your heart. But then you guys took it all away because he said so. Right. There was no facts. There was no police. There was nothing. You guys believe
where
the
is
sheep. You guys are sheep. You follow. Stop following. That's what's wrong in America. We need facts.
So there's no criminal case
nothing,
or anything like that,
nothing.
except the situation with the GoFundMe.
Well, he needed to detour the public, his viewers, so they won't focus on the $28,000, and they could focus on something juicy, which was, let me throw that in there, that she's wasted all those checks on her and cashed them.
And I know he had a partner.
And people believed it.
At that time, like kind of presenting herself as a partner. She's no longer backing him in
Olivia?
that story. Yeah. That might be her name.
Yeah, you know, I did talk to her. She didn't want to get involved. And, you know, she said, let me call him. I'll talk to him about it. And she said, Rosalie, I tried. And I don't understand why he did that. But she backed away. She's no longer,
It's interesting that supposedly you're hurting all these people and she's right there with him to see it. But where is she now? Yeah. Why wouldn't she help him take you down or something?
Maybe she was afraid. You know, John is very intimidating. He's very manipulative, very intimidating. You have not seen that side of him. You know, as sweet and loving as he sounds.
I just saw it.
I saw that side. My volunteers saw it. It is scary. It is so scary how he manipulated me, how he intimidated me in his camper, on my property. You know, with what he said, threatened me all the time. If you don't stop, you're not going to do it my way. Because he did the construction part. I didn't know about construction. I mean, I do, but I don't. He took over the men. There was a lot of men here. And, you know, he did help me with that. But then he didn't come to me whenever there was decision makings. He just did it as he pleases. So when I found out what they were doing, I asked the volunteers, hey, what are you guys building over here? Oh, John said to do this, this, and that, and put that there. I'm like, well, wait a minute. I don't want this. I want this all the way out there. Well, John found out and was very angry at me. And I'm not saying upset. I'm saying angry. And he said, if you keep arguing with me, everything I damn do here, then I'm taking my and I'm out of here. I'll take my crap and I'll take everything I gave you. if you don't stop arguing with me. Damn it, Rosalie, I'm so tired of you. You want to do this thing, you go ahead and do it by yourself. And I'm taking myself out of you.
It looked really bad for her. I remember reading it back then, and I had no idea who she was really. And I'm like, oh wow, that's crazy.
I'll be honest.
You know, I thought maybe it was true.
Leaned a bit toward believing it.
Yeah, I did. I did at first too.
What people need to understand is that his channel kind of documents, it has for a few years, small businesses throughout Tennessee and North Carolina and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's an older guy. He talks to people who've been in those communities, in those howlers for 85 years or whatever. So you get this kind of folksy, grandfatherly,
down home vibe.
Right. So, you know, there's that. And then you see Rosalie, and even though we're from up north, she talks pretty quick. You know, she's a little dramatic,
Yeah, she
a
got
little expressive
the
like
New
me.
York accent, kind of.
And so I can see why a lot of people lean that way. But come to find out, regardless of what you think about who's guilty, innocent, or what, you're seeing that community, you're seeing a lack of community support because the comments were getting deleted.
Yeah.
You know, I think I put some of those screenshots in the last video about Sisters in Christ. That's a definite fact. There's so many people now that come out and say that Rosalie's helped them, regardless of what happened in this situation.
Yeah.
When he was here, when I got started, I was standing right over there. That's how close he got to her.
Oh my God.
But I come up here for help. About a month, maybe a month after the hurricane hit, I come up here and got some help. And at the time, I was like, something told me to come back, you know? I mean, I'm Christian, but I wasn't like, I don't go to church every day. But I believe in the Lord. I know what he does for people, and he's helped me. So now I'm like, when somebody asks me what made me come back, I'm like, it wasn't something told me. It was God told me to come back. I've been here ever since. I've not left. I'm here. Even on the days that we're closed, I'm up here. Because she's always needing help or something, because it's just her. Like, y'all seen me take off a minute ago. I went and rigged up the fence temporarily till me and my stepdad can get over here to fix it properly to keep the baby goats in.
Yeah.
She can't do it on her own.
It's a lot. It's a big property.
Yes. So, needless to say, I've been here. I have witnessed everything coming and going. Everything that comes in, it goes out.
Yeah.
I know for a fact I've give out myself. I've give out at least 50 heaters to people. I've give out at least 50, 60 tents to people just by listening to them and being like they need it. I know, like, I'm not the one to tell you no, unless I feel like you are using it.
Yeah,
for
we
the
know
wrong
what that's
reason.
like, where you can tell. Yeah.
There are certain people that you can just tell.
Mm-hmm.
So, I can honestly say Rosalie is one of the best people around here. She's come from a hard place, which we all have at one point in time.
Mm-hmm.
But she's one of the best ones. I love her to death up here.
And what do you think of John? Like, how did he treat people?
Well, personally, I don't like him.
Right.
He was rude to me. He come in like this was his land. And that's not someone that I want to associate with. If it was his land, that's different. But this is her property.
Right.
She should have to say on what goes, how to do it, stuff like that. As far as the renovations that he suggested, like that wall and stuff, I agree that was a good idea.
Yeah.
It was something that should have been fully discussed with her, should have been her idea. I've never seen a problem with it.
Wow.
Like I said, she always gives. If you come through this line, you got what you needed for a week plus more. She wanted to make sure you had enough to last you till you could get back. I've seen this woman take money out of her pocket and give to people in their vehicles for gas just so they could get back and forth. I've seen her give a lady money to pay her rent out of her own pocket now. She's she's one of a kind. And I cannot thank her enough for what she's done for me and helped me up here. The major food distribution people that was coming in and out, they quit coming till we get everything cleared up and
Wow.
prove that she is legit and stuff. We've struggled.
What's the main thing you want people to know?
That when he said that I took all the money to stop the checks, and I cashed all the money, the checks, and spent the money on myself. Not one check was cashed or no transaction. And I have the proof here from the bank. My bank is helping me. They're backing me up. They gave me this. And it's all here, the proof. So when he said that that money was gone, that money was still in the bank. My CPA said that you have to open up a personal account because we're working on the 501c3 status. And the fact that I didn't have it, I couldn't put it as a 501c3 business account or organization account. But then I got my EIN number and all that stuff. So in the meantime, I had to put this money into the bank account. So my CPA said, open up a bank account so you can start using the money for rocks and everything you need. I did that, and it took 14 days to clear. And in the meantime, that's when I went to John Ward to ask him to drop the GoFundMe so we can pay the $8,000 rock bill that was coming, the rocks. So I had no money at all. I had the $28,000 he was holding on to that on the GoFundMe, and the money from the checks was in the bank. So I had no outlet of the two access of any funds, any type of funds.
Around and see all the stuff and the animals, and explained, you know, their hub and everything that they are still running.
Yeah, it's still pretty busy, too.
Yeah, it's busy. It's definitely busy, and
granted, it's mostly just people in need and homeless
people
at
are
this point.
struggling and they're hungry, and some are from, you know, HELENE because they lost their jobs, or, you know, they might have lost everything, you know, and others are just people that are hungry. She feeds the people and the animals.
In these types of situations, you're automatically going to possibly look at the charity a little funny.
Right.
When you have a charity that was raising money versus a guy who's just there filming.
Yeah.
Doing a favor, putting your stuff out there like a promoter. Well, that's really what it is, a marketer promoter. So I can understand why people lean one way, but because of the kind of editing of the posts and deleting the comments, it looked really bad.
Yeah, it did.
I mean, I was like leaning towards it being true, and I said, if it is true, this woman should go to jail.
Yeah.
You're exploiting people during the worst natural disaster possibly that's happened in the United States. Actually,
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yes.
On January 28th was the first day we did our first transaction.
He had made that video in like
November.
Yeah. So two months.
So to the people
went
out
by.
there, thank you for sending your heart and your love to the cause here to help the people. I love you. You never had the chance to say thank you. And I know you guys took that money, and that's fine. I understand that. When I saw the video of myself, what he was saying about me, heck, if I didn't know that woman, I would feel the same way. He did a good job making me look like that person. He did a beautiful job. John, you're awesome at that. But it's sad that you jeopardizing your career to hurt others, to gain for yourself.
Right.
Because it's not for the people. It's to gain for yourself, for whatever your problem is. And I forgive you. I forgive you, John Ward. In fact, we're having a live tent revival on the 17th here, right here in Rosebud's Farm, because he named it Rosebud's Camp. That's how deep he was with me. He said, I'm naming your camp. I said, that's not what I want. Well, that's what you need. I changed it to Rosebud's Farm. And we're going to have a tent revival. And I'm inviting John. The people need the truth. In America, when you lie, like they say, what goes around comes around. Well, that's a true factor. You do not, just like Donald Trump, same thing. He was crucified. He's been spit. He's been manipulated. He's been on the cross. Same thing with me. Same thing with so many people. And we as soldiers, we are his people. And John Ward, and this goes to any YouTuber or anybody that ever comes to North Carolina or any country to take advantage of the situation. We're not going to let you do this. We know now. We're not going to let you take from America. from the people, from the poor. I am here forever, John. I'm not going nowhere. There's only one person that could take me, and that's Jesus Christ himself. But I'm here for the people. At 61 years old, I'm tired. I do stutter a little bit. I'm exhausted. But at 61, I'm staying here. This is what I love to do. I love to help the people, the poor, the hungry, the broken, the children, the animals. That's what I lived for over 30 years. And this is what I'm going to die. You try to destroy Christmas. You try to destroy what we did here, but you know you can't. When it comes to God's people, you better be careful. You do not mess with God's people.
What happened with the Christmas thing?
Yeah, he was supposed to be here to help us with a Christmas. And I do this every year for 21 years. Like I said, I'm very well experienced, and I love doing it. And it's a beautiful turnout every single year. And because of the situation he had planned, because it almost looks like he planned this all together.
I think so.
I mean, I have texts of him saying, Rosalie, I went to your property, and it was all pretty much to investigate you, to see what we would do with this money. It's incredible.
Wow.
So for Christmas, I did my December 21st at 1 o'clock. It started, and we accomplished Christmas. We got all the toys we needed last minute. Like I said, you tried it. You tried everything you had to destroy Christmas, but you didn't. God's too strong for you, John Ward. And we did it. And it was beautiful. We had almost 400 people. 163 kids were registered. Somebody won a Cadillac, a beautiful car. The owners were here to specifically give away that car, which, John Ward, you told people that I drove the car off the property and I kept the car. God bless you, John.
Another thing that
May
in the
God
digital
forgive you.
age he doesn't have pictures of, he doesn't have video of, he
Nothing.
doesn't have
Yes,
a
nothing.
witness
I have all the
of, he
witnesses,
doesn't.
all the videos, all the truth.
And those people have that car in their name.
Yes.
Right. I don't
Yes.
see any Cadillac
There
here.
ain't no Cadillac here. I can walk through and film all the cars.
Well, it's all my videos. The owners were there giving the car away to the beautiful young lady that lost her car and lost her trailer with her children. We gave her toys. We gave her a car seat, food. It was one of the best days in her life. You know, beautiful Cadillac.
Wow, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
You know, and John tried to destroy that too.
Wow.
And like I said, he's out for destruction. You know, when you're a YouTuber or like what you guys do, you know, you give positive. America's going through so much heartache and so much pain. We don't need people to add anything more than what we have. If anything, lift us up, lift the people up, do something. Get up and do something. Put that camera to work. Don't put it to demonize the people, to hurt the people. Enough.
To gain.
Yeah, and for the
yourself.
record, how many days was he here? 10?
He was here for about a week and 4 days.
Not that much problems.
And I
in
just
that
want
one
to tell
time.
people to just appeal to their common sense. A week and a half. Say those donations come rolling in on, I don't know, day 2, 3, 4. A few of those aren't even business days. And he wants supposedly all this stuff accounted for right that minute. Under all of that, I mean, you had an influx of
Yes.
probably 100,000 people or something crazy
Yes.
like that. And it's like, it's very clear that he was making a demand that he knew you couldn't, and he had already changed it over.
Oh, yes.
A week and a half in, and he said, I heard it. He said, I've been putting this together. Like, I've been,
Well, he just wanted to see it accounted for, supposedly.
in the attorney that he's claimed online and stuff
There's
he
no
had,
such thing.
Yeah.
the person's name doesn't even exist, which is odd. Most names you look it up, you find
Some
1,000
woman,
of
I
them.
guess.
It's just my input that every place he goes, there's
Oh.
trouble.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not even
That's-
that's just fact. That's not just input. It's fact. If you look up the places that he's been involved with, they're all.
It's not for the people. It's
You
not to
know.
help America.
No, it's to help himself.
Yes.
It's to help his channel and his views. And
You're not the first people that came here to try and do this, you know, to what we're doing right
Well,
now.
what took you?
Because I don't trust people.
Oh,
Why
I
did
don't
you
blame him.
wait to put your side out?
Why did I wait? Well, I went to 4 attorneys. They charged between $8 to $15 retaining fee.
Mhm.
And I did put my side out. I'm a tiny little ant in the social media compared to John Ward with all his sheeps that follow him. You know,
Right.
there's thousands. And then when he puts, the more videos he puts, the juicier they are. The more money he makes, because the subscribers, they pay him for everything he does. And they pay him. They want to watch these juicy stories, you know? So this was the juiciest one. Because before that, he was just videotaping chicken in little restaurants and people talking about food.
General stores.
Now
and
he's
stuff,
got
yeah.
all these juicy stories and how to hurt somebody, how to put somebody down, how to gain money, how to make money for himself. you know, and he found a good opportunity. I was his first victim, and I'm glad he went to me, because I'm one. Yes, it took a long time, but you know, to me, I believe this was God's timing to wait. Because, yeah, I could have done this a long time ago, which I did. But again, it was my little Facebook video. And I was crying. I was devastated. I was traumatized because I couldn't believe he described this monster. It's not me. So it didn't get nowhere. It got to my community, and my community's backing me up. You know, the sheriff is backing me up. Alan Ellenberg does a great job in the community. I've watched him. He's amazing, and he's backed me up. My bank is backing me up.
How much do you think he made?
Well, he told me he made $55,000 from his subscribers. I'm
Just
sorry, guys.
while here?
While he was doing what he was doing, because you know he was trying to show me how much money he makes. When he denied the $28,000 that he stole from what I'm doing, you know, my organization.
It did vanish, people. It did just go
it
away.
did.
Yeah. But you know, I forgive John, and I hope he comes to the revival and just tell John, look. I'm going to straight to you, John. Come to the revival, John. I forgive you. I don't hate you. I can't hate nobody. My father left me when I was a little girl at 12 years old. I never hated my father. I was in Manhattan. I was homeless. You know, I was lost, a little girl, 12 years old. You know, a lot of bad things happened to me, and I didn't hate my father. I miss my dad. I still loved him. I never knew why, but I still loved him. So you know what? You're like my brother. You're not hated by Rosalie Toro. I forgive you. But you need to come here and apologize to God first. Ask for God to forgive you. And then say sorry to me. And say sorry to the people that you fooled, telling them that all that money was gone, that I spent all those checks to stop helping Rosalie. And I spent all that money. You lied. Here's the truth. My bank's backing me up. But John, come forward. Tell your people, your followers. I'm sorry some of you are sheeps. And I'm sorry he fooled you. But today, you're going to know who the real John is. You guys have to know the truth. You know? It's time. But I forgive you, John. Come here to the revival. And I'm not going to hate you. And you know what? After that, people will forgive you because, you know, you do a really good job. I mean, what you do is amazing. You could sell the Brooklyn Bridge for $1 and people will buy it. I'm serious.
Yeah.
He's amazing what he does. He could sell the Brooklyn Bridge for $1 and all the people are like, whoop, I'll buy it first. I'm sorry you guys were fooled, but you know what? It happens. But it's not going to happen again because I'm hoping if anything comes out of this, that people that are trying to be like John Ward, what he did to America, to North Carolinians, to the people, to the commissioners, we're going to stop this. You better think twice if you're going to come after the people who are really helping. There's a lot of scammers out there.
Yeah, go after them.
Go after them. Not what I'm doing. You came here, John, and you saw what I was doing. And you said you didn't want to give the $28,000 because you weren't satisfied with what I'm doing. Who are you? God was satisfied. The community was satisfied.
That was a quote I heard.
You know,
personally.
You want me to get rocks? You were holding on to the $28,000 and the bank was holding on to the cash, the checks. So what money I had to spend? And you told everybody that the $20,000, she won't be accountable for it, so I'm not going to give it to her because she spent all the money on herself. She went and cashed those checks. None of those checks were even touched, John, till January 28th, John.
Wow.
And all these people believed you. John, just say the truth. They'll forgive you and continue doing what you're doing. I mean, I don't think you'll go to jail for this. I don't know what GoFundMe is going to do. I really don't. And if somebody wants to press charges, go ahead, because I have no time. The time I have right now is to help the people. I'm doing Easter, celebrating Easter. We're going to have a beautiful party here, event for the Easter for children and families. And we're having our 10th revival on the 17th right here at Rosebuds. So you're all welcome to come through the 17th all the way to the 21st from 7 p.m. till later. And I'm busy. I'm busy working for God. I don't have time for you, John, or for people like you. If you wanted to be entertained, you know what? Go to Africa. They need you out there. If you want to do something for America, do what's right. Stop lying. If you need money, I'll do a GoFundMe for you. But stop taking from the people. Stop taking from the Americans, from the poor. That's disgusting, John. And you know, I'm not going to say I'm sorry for me doing this. But whatever happens from today on, you deserve it. If people walk away from you, it's not because I'm asking them to. They're going to do the right thing. They're going to do the right thing. I wish you the best. I will pray for you. I've been praying for you. Again, I can't hate you. And for those that did believe John and called me with death threats and said horrible things to me, I even got 2 letters in the mail that I couldn't read everything in full because it was so scary how you described me. But I forgive you, and I forgive all those horrible things that was said to me. I forgive you all. That's fine. I understand. I understand why. John, like I said, he's good at it. But don't worry, everything is fine, you know. So I am still struggling, and I'm going to say this. Not going to act like John Ward, but this is from my heart. If you guys want to help, and you guys want to continue supporting Rosebuds and what I'm doing here, yeah, I feel like I'm John Ward right now, asking for money.
No,
I'm not asking for money, but non-perishables, hygiene products, toiletries, baby formula, baby diapers, dog food, cat food, and summer clothes for the children. We don't want no more adult clothes because we were bombarded with adult clothes, and we need children's clothing just for children, and shoes for the summer. Summer's coming. We got to dress these kids, and we got to feed these families. And as God said, feed my people. And that's what I'm doing. I've been doing this for many years.
I like that yurt.
Yeah.
What's the? Is that just your yurt?
Yeah, that's awesome.
And this is a lady that sent this.
I love it.
But
Happy place.
she probably was one of the people that send me hate letters too. I don't know. But if you didn't send me bad thing, I want to say thank you for the happy play. We put it up, honey. Thank you so much.